This lesson turns everything we've planned so far into a real, deployed AVD environment. We'll walk the portal deployment flow field by field, deploy the same environment as Bicep resources, issue registration tokens with PowerShell, wire in insights from day one, and get precise about where the session host update preview feature stands today. The portal's host pool wizard walks through exactly the decisions from earlier in this module, in order: host pool type and load balancing in basics, image source and VM size and domain join method under virtual machines, and critically a workspace step, because without associating an application group to a workspace, nothing shows up in a user's feed. The advanced step is where you can turn on diagnostic settings for Azure Virtual Desktop Insights right at deployment time. For anything beyond a quick pilot, define the host pool, application group, and workspace as Bicep resources under source control. Bicep is Microsoft's first-party authoring layer over ARM and tracks new AVD API versions fastest. The host pool type, load balancer type, and preferred app group type properties are the exact same planning decisions from Lesson 1, now expressed in code, and the registration info block is how you issue the token a new session host uses to join. A minimal deployment declares a host pool resource with its type, load balancing algorithm, and registration info, an application group's resource that references the host pool by its ARM path, and a workspace's resource that pulls the application group into the feed user's C. If your organization standardizes on Terraform instead, the Azure ARM provider has equivalent resources mapping onto the same underlying resource provider. The architecture decisions are identical either way, it's purely a tooling choice. Every new session host needs a registration token to join its host pool. New Az.DesktopVirtualization registration info issues a fresh token with a chosen expiration time, and get Az.DesktopVirtualization host pool registration token retrieves whatever token is currently active without minting a new one. Treat these as short-lived secrets, mint them close to the deployment window that consumes them, and never bake one into a golden image where it could go stale or leak. Azure Virtual Desktop Insights depends on diagnostic settings sending host pool, workspace, and application group data to a log analytics workspace, and that data only starts flowing from the moment it's enabled. There's no retroactive backfill. Enable it in the same Bicep deployment that creates the host pool, not as a follow-up task, so you have real historical data during the fragile early adoption period, which is exactly when module access monitoring skills matter most. The traditional way to refresh session hosts to a new golden image is a self-orchestrated blue-green replacement. Provision new hosts from the latest Azure Compute Gallery version, set the old hosts to drain mode so no new sessions land on them, wait for or force existing sessions to log off during a change window, and then remove the old hosts. This pattern is fully supported today and is exactly what a newer feature now tries to automate. As of 2026, Microsoft also offers Session Host Update as a preview capability. You define a session host configuration specifying the target image and VM settings, and a session host management policy specifying batch size and scheduling, and Azure Virtual Desktop deallocates and recreates hosts automatically to match. Because this is explicitly a preview feature, pilot it in a validation host pool and track it toward general availability rather than depending on it for a production cutover today. Whichever path you choose, the underlying pattern is the same: deallocate old, recreate new, from a known good image version. The scripted approach gives you full control over batch sequencing and rollback and carries the general availability support bar. Session Host Update trades some of that manual control for less orchestration work, but it's still a preview feature, so weigh that against how mature and risk-tolerant your environment is. A production-grade deployment ties all of this together. Bicep templates define the host pool, application group, and workspace with diagnostics wired in from the start. A pipeline mints a short-lived registration token and provisions session hosts from a specific image version. Insights starts collecting data immediately, and refreshes happen either through your own scripted replace pattern or the Session Host Update preview feature, depending on how much risk your environment can absorb.